weeks of emotional turmoil for the team, and yesterday I saw firsthand the toll that it's taken. There were some pretty emotional staff members as they were starting to pack things up at Albany. Of course, the news broke this week that they have been placed into liquidation, and it's looking less and less likely that a saviour will step in to rescue them. So with their final game at this weekend, and the club obviously out of money, there were fears players wouldn't be paid, but they will get some breathing space thanks to New Zealand Rugby, who will cover salaries and costs for the next 2 months. Coach Tana Umaga saying they were incredibly grateful that NZ Rugby stepped in.
I think some certainty around being able to put some food on the table for the next couple of weeks, or that has been really unsettling, and it's been ongoing for a while now. To get that was timely for a lot of them. When we got the news, it was met with a bit of applause, and I think a sigh of relief that there is some certainty going forward for us. We'll take what we can at this stage. It's better than nothing, and it is the reality of the situation we're in. This is the job that they've got talent for, and they've committed to, and
the reality that quite a few of these guys will have to find jobs.
Yeah, well, it is the reality. It's not going to be the same for everybody.
Yeah, so a temporary reprieve, Lisa. As Umaga mentioned, the reality is a lot of his players will be on the job hunt, but they do still live with that glimmer of hope that the franchise can be saved.
And a pretty penny being offered to break a world record. Which one?
Yeah, not a bad pay packet this, Lisa. $10 million prize up for grabs. All you have to do is run 100 metres faster than any human in history. As we know, Usain Bolt, he owns the record of 9.58 seconds, but organisers of the Enhanced Games are offering 10 mil to anyone who can beat it at their next event. Likely they've done this because their first event at the weekend was considered a bit of a flop, if we're honest. We know this is the drug-friendly competition, steroids not only allowed but encouraged. So organisers were anticipating that there would be a heap of world records just being shattered. But there was only one, air quotes, world record broken in swimming. It was Greek swimmer Christian Golomev in the 50 free. So not exactly the sporting revolution they were promising, but not giving up on the concept. And that 10 million will no doubt lure plenty of hopeful. So if you fancy a crack at beating Bolt's record, good news is you have about 12 months to prepare.
Thank you, Jonty. That is Jonty Dine there with sport. Lots of feedback from you all on the budget. We'll get to some of that shortly, but here is some thoughts from the streets of Auckland.
Where are some other areas where you think spending maybe could have